is Section 114, titled Restricting the Use of Chokeholds. And it has three subsections, A, B, and C, and I'll just talk about each of those briefly. First is, this is the Eric Garner Act. And for those who don't recognize the name, it was a man in New York City in 2014 that it was caught on tape as he was put into a chokehold, passed out on the ground, and left there until ended up passing away as a result. His cries of "I can't breathe" were ignored, and it led to a lot of protests. Basically, the police had been told, "Hey, go clean up this corner, go arrest some people," and despite there not being any evidence that Eric Garner had been doing anything, they tried to arrest him and choked him to death when he didn't comply. And so this section of the George Floyd Justice Act is titled in memory of him. So chokeholds, neck restraints, they fall into two broad categories. So the chokehold, which restricts the airway when pressure is applied to the front of the neck, and then a stranglehold, which would restrict the blood to the brain when pressure is applied to the side of the neck. And these have been controversial for a long time. In fact, many states and many municipalities have banned them. In fact, New York Police Department banned them back in 1993. Since then, they're banned in other states like Connecticut, Florida, New York, California, Wisconsin, Washington, in Washington, D.C. And so Part B of this section puts limitations on the eligibility for funds that states can get unless they have a law that prohibits law enforcement officers from using chokeholds or cartoroid holds, as described in this act. And that provision would go into effect for the 2025 fiscal year. So they would have until the end of September 2024 to ensure that they had such law in the book in order to continue to qualify for the Burn Grant Program or the COPS Grant Program, as we talked about last week, which are some of the main ways that the federal government sends police funds to the states. Section C, subsection C of this act, it's that same prohibition on using chokeholds into Section 242 of Title 18 United States Code. And it would make it a civil rights violation to use those.